Welcome to LoJoLife, where we talk about everything from family to business to life and everything in between. I am doing today's video that was inspired by a friend that's going through a situation that's similar to one I went through previously, and that's divorce. So, divorce is one of those things where it's really tricky. Obviously, you don't want to just get up and run at the first sight of problems, unless, of course, there's abuse, whether that's physical, mental, or emotional. That's never okay. But if somebody's leaving the dishes out and it's driving you nuts, probably should figure out how to work out through that. But that being said, it's not a dirty word. It's a thing where obviously when it comes to a relationship, it takes effort from both people. And things can happen. And if you have the foundational stuff like communication and trust, you're able to work through a lot of problems that pop up. However, sometimes, especially if there's cracks in those foundations and there's no communication and there is no trust, it becomes a lot harder to stay together. And I don't know that it necessarily is. If it's something that's really affecting you, if it's really affecting your mental and emotional well-being on a daily basis, you're not being heard, then maybe you go and do some counseling. So obviously, if you're feeling bad and you're going to therapy and your partner's not willing to work, then it really is time to start considering a divorce. Because think about when you want to lose weight or you have any kind of goal and you want to put effort into it. How hard is it to get yourself to stick when it's something you want to do? It's really hard. So now imagine trying to expect somebody else to make a change that you need them to make. You're talking almost impossible. Through a lot of things that I've been through, whether it's divorce, whether it's addiction, whether it's obesity, fighting with that demon, I could have a dozen reasons to make a change, but it took one that I didn't know about to make me make that change. And I found that it happened, but to expect somebody else to find that is lunacy, in my opinion, because you can't expect somebody to make that change for you. They could decide tomorrow they want to make that change. They might not make that change for 10 years, 15, 20 years, maybe never. And now you've wasted your life being very unhappy for somebody else that was happy to not change and still got the needs that they wanted. And that's not how a relationship should work. It should be a two-way street where you both are feeding each other and both lifting each other up. Obviously, sometimes one's going to be stronger than the other, but that's when you come in and you kind of help. And so I think that understanding when that push and shove is just too much and you're giving too much and they're taking too much and just deciding enough is enough. And even like in my case, when kids are involved, one of the things that held me up for so long was, one, I didn't want to lose full custody of my kids, but also I just, when it comes to the kids, I always thought us splitting up would be horrible for the kids. But the more research I did, the more I talked to people, it can be a lot more damaging to a kid to be in a household that is just negative. When I got home from work, it was just this dreary, just huge punch in the gut feeling that would overcome me. So that's a tension that's within that house, and your kids feel it. They can't express it. They probably don't know exactly what it is, but they know something's not right, and that's going to affect them a lot more. As soon as my ex and I separated, it was so much better. There was so much more clear air in the house, and I'm sure at my ex's house as well. It's just because we didn't have that friction going towards each other anymore. So if kids are your hang up, then do that. And often I hear the religious hang up. Well, God doesn't want us to get divorced. Well, I'm not a huge religious guy. I'm not going to get a lot into religion on this channel. But do you think God would rather you suffer and have a miserable life and be with somebody that you don't want to be? Or does he want to be compassionate and have you have a happy life and be better off with you being separate and going somewhere? My whole point to that is, there are 1,000 excuses of why not to get divorced, but you really need to listen to yourself and listen to what you need. And if it's not getting filled and that person is being selfish and not finding a way to help you, then it's probably time to get a divorce. I know this is kind of a hot button issue, but it's something that I've been through. Down the road, I will probably elaborate a little bit more into how I came to my decision and what I did to kind of prepare myself for it, because it's a scary proposition. The other side of divorce is unknown, and we all hate unknown. We all run from unknown. But I've also found in my life that when I embrace the unknown, there's always something greater on the other side of that. So it's not a reason to stop. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below, and let us know if you want more content like that. Have a great day.